Yo, what's up? This is Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV with my co-host Jeremy Scipio.
What's going on, people?
Oh man, it's been a whole lot going on, man.
Sure is. Yeah.
Every once in a while, we got to have this wild card episode, man, where we just kind of go over we not shade rooming them or or gossip
or
or gossip
or
column.
or Shay Shay rooming them.
Yeah,
Shay
yeah,
Shay clubbing them.
and he doing it from Africa. You know what I'm saying?
What you talking about?
I think O'Shea Duke Jackson. I don't think he in the state.
Oh no, you're right. I was talking about a Club Shay Shay.
Oh, okay,
That's
okay.
Shannon Sharp. That's
Well,
funny.
both
But no, yeah.
well,
O'Shea, he
both
cool
both
too.
of them have contributed to some entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
man, jumping into the double dutch,
Hmm.
Shannon Sharp versus the world. So, I was watching this. I kind of wanted to do some research on Shannon Sharp and how he transitioned because
Hmm.
Shannon Sharp used to be a company.
Transition.
Oh no, he transitioned. He used to be a company man.
Okay. Yeah.
No, he was all about the company. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Up until that moment where Skip Bayless just
Hmm.
really took it too far.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I was watching how Stephen A. Smith, but I was kind of on the borderline because Stephen A. Smith, I won't say he can be a hater, but he can be theatrical. That's what I'll say
Hmm.
to be. So Stephen A.
Yeah.
Smith was like, yo, when I saw you and Skip have that interaction that you guys had, I knew it was a matter of time. And I wanted to call you and reach out to you and talk to you and whatever, but I knew it was
Yeah.
so. But when Stephen A. said that, in one way, I was like, okay, is he just a hater, on the sideline and just woo woo woo, or is he the person that was in the seat that Shannon Sharp is in,
Right.
and then Skip is just going
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
because I'm not a super sports head, but I can't quite put my finger on if Skip is just demeaning, if it's a shot glass of racial something or classism something, or if it's like he thinks he's better than these other like than the Shannon Sharp, or if he thinks he's better than Stephen A. Smith. But I know that the way that he talks is just reckless, dude. It's just for it to be
Yeah.
his co-host.
Right. I mean, the fall of man will always come from power, man. Well, there's a saying, no one man should have all that power. I mean, that's all. It's just whenever somebody has power, so much power, they're gonna flex. And that's what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and put Skip Bayless. I'm not gonna be too hard on him because at the end of the day, like, you know, he was that brand. This is a debate show. It's funny how they try to make sports like this tough guy thing, right? But they just gossiping at the end of the day. They're being really catty, so when you're being catty, it's gonna reach a height. This is the same as barbershop stuff. I'm not gonna be too hard on, but yes, all the elements, the racism and all that stuff plays
Oh,
into it. But that's just any dynamic you're gonna get with white person, and maybe he knows, hey, let me get a black guy, former sports player, to butt heads with. But yes, Stephen A, of course he gonna call it out because yeah, that was his guy. They were the originals. They was the originals. I used to tune in them 5 o'clock every day. So yeah, I know.
you know what? I've recently become a fan of the genius of 50 Cent and
Oh yeah.
his soap operas, novellas that he's created that are so riveting and so well written. But I think part of watching, because
Mhm.
I only watched Skip and Stephen A. Smith a couple times. Well, I'll say like 8 times. But I
Mhm.
knew people that watched it religiously. But the thing about it is their interaction was riveting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then also too, you could tell it's some form of traumatic relationship because I remember when he was on Shannon Sharp was on some show. Was it? He just had an opposition. I think we talked about it on here. He was like, well, see, that's what I'm saying, Skip. Skip, and he realized and he melted down. Like, oh God, because he he was calling the other person Skip Bayless without realizing. But that's like the main person. It's like somebody who's been in a relationship, abusive relationship for like 6 years, and you get out and you miss the person. But yeah, he transitioned into you know, like you said, it's a gossip column. Club Shay Shay, which is that is an interesting name. Club Shay Shay is a very interesting name. I never knew anybody to call him that. Maybe they do. I don't think it's a bad name, but it is an interesting name for sure.
You know what? I think people go too hard on him for that name. I think that he's like out of touch, kind of, and
Okay.
probably has for his whole life being a professional, being an athlete at the level of athleticism that he was at. Those guys are privileged, dude. And he
Yes.
people may have called him Shay Shay though. Like they may have called
Yeah,
him
I can believe it.
like
But
that.
people call me Jer Bear, but you ain't gonna see me name anything I'm a part of the Jer Bear Club, Jer Bear Experience. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I ain't, but it's whatever. It's whatever. I respect it. I just know you would look at me different. And I was like, hey, you'd be like, hey, Jeremy, I'd be like, hey, call me Jer Bear. Okay.
I think if there was enough zeros behind the right writer's chair,
But he's the guy though. He the boss.
yeah,
Who you gonna
yeah,
write a check to himself? Club Shay?
yeah.
Come on, man. But it's been an interesting experience. Shout out Cat Williams for breaking the internet early, and he let me know the show even existed. I didn't know the show existed before that, honestly.
I'll tell you the interesting thing. When I was watching Country Wayne's episode, which was maybe 3 weeks into January, maybe 3 weeks into January,
Mm-hmm.
you could tell by a few references that he made that he taped it before the first of the year.
Okay.
But when he was
Yeah.
talking about the show, he was talking about the Cat Williams episode, which didn't come out until after the first of the year. So I
Right.
say that to say all this has been a strategic ploy. Like all of it, none of it is just organically happened or whatever. Somebody, October at the earliest, was like, you know what? We're going to jump you off, Shannon. We're going to make you a space that's different than the Oprah space,
Mm-hmm.
different than the Jennifer Hudson space, different than all these talk shows or whatever. We're going to make it an intimate couch talk, and you're going to be able to sell your liquor. And dude, he's
Yeah.
done it masterfully.
Yeah. I mean, when you have backing, and a plan, I think this is just execution. I do believe they shot way past whatever projection they had though, because Cat Williams I'm trying to tell you, he's been saying most of that stuff this whole time. I just think that it was the fact that it was you give a man 3 hours to talk, in a nice platform with a good background and some liquor. You know what I mean? You almost can't lose. You know what I mean? And that is different from Oprah, because you got to drink beforehand. It's different from Wendy Williams. It's different. You know what I mean? You know, um, I think Mike Epps took an interesting strategy because Mike Epps wanted to be in the news and he made it very clear. He was like, yo, Cat didn't mention me in a negative light. And I could have used some of that. And he's been going around doing his tour, talking about the interview, which is it's still news right now. It probably won't be. I give it 2 more weeks, but it's still technically news. And he's been talking. That's what comics do. And I'm a topical comic, so I know what it's like when you may develop a good bit on something that just happened, but then it's like 2 months later, you like, ah man, like this is. But Mike Epps has been talking about this one Cat Williams interview this whole time, literally from the day it came out all the way up until yesterday. And Shannon Sharp finally had enough and called because what he say? He said he called up and I know Mike Epps' style. I know it's your favorite comedian. He said he invited me on there. He said, "Nah, Medea, you ain't getting me on there." He said, "If you put a wig on him, don't he look like Medea?" And then he said, yeah, Club Shay Shay. He said, yeah, he said it sounded like he said he tried to tell you. So yeah, I do wonder. because now they beefing. Yeah, and then he said he was gonna pull up. That's right. Mike Epps said, no, no.
Blank.
Yeah, Shannon, huh?
No, Mike F said, I'm not gonna put hands on you, but I'm gonna blank, blank,
Blank, blank.
blank. You know,
I don't blame him for that because I will say there's jokes, then the threat of physical violence. That only comes next. You know what I'm saying? That only comes next. That only comes next. Because you can't, if you want to hear, you gotta keep it here. If you keep it here, people go here. But if somebody go here, you gotta come back down here.
I,
Unless you
I
about that
think
life.
I think we've been
Don't
sucked into the vortex, man. I think Mike Epps is a genius. Two,
yeah. Yeah.
he witnessed. I was talking to Brown about it, dude.
Uh-huh.
Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp literally broke the internet, dude. They they
Yes.
they changed from everything that we know going 10 years back. They changed the game.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the game with that one interview. So,
Yeah.
part of me with the Cat Williams interview, I really wasn't feeling him saying that he read 3,000 books, man. And maybe I'm
I
petty.
mean,
Maybe I'm
he
petty.
did. Let me put you at ease. He didn't read 3,000 books. He was using hyperbole. It's not possible to read 3,000 books as a child. It's just impossible. But before that, he said, I'm like 100 years old. So it's funny how we pick and choose the things to make big. Um, I mean, it's like he literally said, I'm like 100 years old. And since the age of 6, I read like 3,000. He said at the age of 6, I wrote 3,000 books. Do I think Cat Williams has the ability to lie? Absolutely. Do I think he thinks he read 3,000 books? I actually do think he thinks that. But I don't think that anybody who listens to Cat Williams speak should believe everything he says. That's all. And I love Cat, and I think he was right for the most part. But, you know,
I'll say this, dude. I think he's Robin Hood. He really did something that was noble because he turned, dude, the rabbit got the gun. He really switched the whole, he's, how he did it, dude, it was masterful. It was really masterful because,
well, go ahead, sorry.
no, 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 no. You go ahead.
Well, I mean, he's a dynamic person. I can't give Shannon Sharp the credit other than just having the platform. I didn't like none of his questions. I think he has terrible questions personally. Uh, like his reactions. I thought it was interesting when Cat Williams said, he said, don't no roll calls for a country bumpkin opa baby. And I'm like, you sitting across from Shannon Sharp. You're not allowed to say that. He's a country bumpkin. Don't do that. That's rude,
And
Cat.
country as hell with a speech impairment,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And then Monique tried to copy Cat's which she succeeded to a varying degree. But me and the homie was talking about this today. The difference between Cat and Monique, and I rock with Monique. I'm a little disappointed in her right now, but I really was rocking with her all the way up until the DL thing. I've said that on here plenty of times. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's where she went wrong. And they said Cat stuff wasn't really able to be checked on. Like, like for the most part, he said a lot of verifiable stuff, not a lot of pushback in certain areas. They would try to, change the story, but they couldn't. Monique, everybody had something to say. So she's getting a lot of pushback, specifically from her son. When her and DL was beefing, DL brought some interesting information because she called out DL not protecting his daughter during a traumatic situation where we would not verify on here now. Since that was fair game, he brought up the fact that she has not been interacting with her son. And he said, treat my daughter like you treat your son,
One,
non-existent, because
one,
you
one
don't.
moment, man. I'm
Go
cutting you
for it.
off, but I get
Yeah.
antsy like that. I cut everybody off, kind of. It's
No,
not
you good.
disrespectful, but man, the cold part about it, she went into DL about his daughter and all this stuff, and when you hear her son talk, like if you have if you have any compassion in your heart,
Mm-hmm.
pull away the differences that we have as humans,
Yes.
whatever. You
Yes.
have a pretty good idea of who's lying and who's being genuine.
Yes. Yes.
I heard her son speak this morning, dude, and
Mm-hmm.
it left me just in a crazy space because I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I get you have a kid and you do your comedy thing. Like, man, you're chasing your dream. You had a kid, you're chasing your dream. You feel like you're putting your kid in the best hands. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You develop a career, you get your stuff tight, you never really go back for your son, you start a new family with it, and all that happens. But dude, homeboy, her son straight out said, you know what? I'm not worried about having a relationship with her.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be great to me if my daughter, her granddaughter, could have a relationship with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was going into kind of like how she was and how she kind of later on in life she thought she could kind of throw money at it a little bit or whatever. And I was like, damn.
Did you see the
Unless
reply?
he was just speaking, he was
No, I'm
speaking.
talking about her reply. Monique and her
Oh, I
husband
didn't hear her
replied.
reply.
It made it way worse. That's what I'm saying. I'm a little disappointed in her. She was better off
Dude,
saying nothing.
dude, her son. I felt he was a man, not because my mother passed away or whatever, but I love my mother. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you got a good mother, or you know what, even if you don't got a good mother, it's just natural if your mother is in your life in any kind of like you love your mother.
Right.
Homeboy was like, man, I just wanted the basics. I wanted to just whatever, and she was just pretty much like, that's your problem.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, during the Monique response, her and her husband response, it was a lot that was said. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna lie, like I understand there's three sides of every story. And when her son spoke, it could have been, she's a rich woman. It could have been like there's a lot of entitlement that comes from rich kids, you know what I mean? Just in general, you know. But like, because if you want to hear a sad story, I can tell you a sad story all day. But the difference is everything Monique and her husband said, they didn't realize they were validating everything the son said. He said exactly what they're gonna say, and they said it. And this was the craziest thing I heard. Her husband was like, yeah, he said it's interesting. Last time we seen you face to face, you asked, can you call me dad? And I told you no, because he said you already have a father. I'm like, wow. And they brought up that they gave him money and that he has a mental disorder. I'm like, do y'all even hear yourselves? I'm like, the dude, now I do think he was a little out of place for jumping out there, but you prove his point by trashing him. He's not a celebrity. He's not a public figure. You should have got him off the internet and meet like, hey, look, that's my baby. We gonna talk about this later. They trashed this food, dude.
Man, I just listened to Homeboy talk this morning, and it
Yeah.
kind of was in on. And dude, I'm not petty, please. I'm not petty, but it was on my mind for a while. I'm like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
it's not what she did because people are human. It has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with what she did. It's about the picture she tried to paint of herself, of how she's just so okay. I'll tell you what it was. I listened to the Tyler Perry conversation this morning.
Mm-hmm.
When I took my shower, I listened to the Tyler Perry conversation.
What's the Tyler Perry conversation?
Monique had a conversation with Monique, her husband, and Tyler
Oh, you
Perry
talking
had a
about
conversation.
from back way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get how she could feel Tyler wasn't supporting her, but at the same time, her taping that conversation and making it public was kind of on some other stuff to me.
Yeah. So this is where I was kind of defending Monique. She probably shouldn't. I say it's fine to record it. Don't put it out. One. Two, unless he says I didn't say that, that's when you pull it out. Secondly, pause. Secondly, um, at that time, like Lee Daniels was the initial person to trigger all this because he was speaking to some kids and he said, "Hey, whatever you do, just don't blackball yourself like Monique did." That's when Monique came out on stage, and this is where I was riding with her. She said, "I didn't get blackball. I got white balls by 4 black people with no balls, but black bitches with no balls." That was a bar. I'm like, that's comedy. That's hard, right? Then that's when she started jumping online with her husband. Still good, but I think it was a little bit much. That's when she called out Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels. And each one of them definitely wronged her, especially Oprah, who had her family on her
Oh,
show,
that was
and her
horrible.
brother,
Oh, that was
who had
horrible.
molested her. Yeah. So that was way too much. I'm
Horrible.
telling you, this whole time I'm riding with Monique. When she go against Netflix, I'm riding with her. Everybody was like, who does she think she deserved 20 million for a special? I'm like, look, if they giving out $20 million checks, I want one too. Don't act like just because they act like only white people can negotiate. This is all negotiation because she asked for the boycott. And they like, well, how can we boycott? You're supposed to boycott serious issues. I'm like, if Monique, if somebody says you're worth this much, right? And you're like, no, I'm worth this much, right? What better way to prove it than to get your fans to stop watching? If you can prove that less than 1% of Netflix fan subscriber base stop watching, that proves that you're worth more money than whatever than 20 million. So I thought it was a good strategy. Anyway, they went to court for discrimination. She won. I'm up here like, yeah, Monique, my girl. And then she do the thing with D against, and then the special comes out. Complete garbage, by the way. Sorry, love her to death.
Oh,
Special was
I
garbage.
agree. I agree.
Yeah. And then she do the DL thing. I was completely done with her. I was just like, yo, I don't care what. He didn't deserve that. I don't care. I don't care. I don't people send me video. He said this, he said that. That's his opinion. She went at him, went at his wife, went at his daughter. Y'all can
In
remix. And
front
she
of
got,
his mother.
yeah. Oh my
In
God.
front of his
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah. And I'm like, to me, it's like if me and you have an issue and it's a small issue, and then you start going hard at me for other stuff that got nothing to do with the issue, I'm gonna feel like you always hated me. That's me personally. It's like it don't take if we have an issue amongst friends on who's headlining, that's called rich people problems.
Men and women heated arguments. Start talking about something that ain't got nothing to do with anything, but just
Nothing to
something you
do
wanted
with
to get off
nothing.
your chest.
Yeah, and then she said it was because of when she was on the show, they asked his husband wanted to sleep with Superhead or Tyler Perry or Lee Daniels. I'm like, that's just a bad joke. There's no reason to call him all type of MFers on stage. Get out of here. DL's response was funny though. I ain't gonna
I
lie.
never
The first
heard that.
response.
That
What?
was funny.
The DL thing?
Yeah, what you just said.
Oh,
Now
oh
that
yeah.
was funny.
That was funny. I ain't gonna lie. DL, he said, I ain't never seen nobody work out every day and get bigger. He said, unless the crunches they doing has a captain in front of it. That's a bar. That's a bar. Yeah, man. But it is what it is. But I'm done defending Monique. I took my bullets for her. She could do whatever at this point. I don't care.
so so on to the whole thing, and we about to get off Monique.
Yes.
We 30,000 feet above the cloud. We 30,000 feet above the ground. We passed the clouds and we about
Uh-huh.
to move on.
Okay.
But the crazy part was just hilarious defending her, and it's like, dang, it's just, dude, in the last 12 months, we've seen so many people fold, dude. It's
Yes.
I mean, like, and
Yeah.
when I say fold, I mean like meringue,
Yeah.
fold. Charlemagne comes with an apology for Donkey of the Day because Just Hilarious steps up and advocates for
Mhm.
Monique, and Just Hilarious is kind of like, questionable at times with her, how she does her thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's a good addition to the show. Um, right now, I feel like we're in a drama content era, so you can't just be a moderator, kind of like what we're doing. You got to have baggage and bring it on the show. Just Hilarious has enough baggage and enough beefs because I remember when her and Sexy Red, she was triggering her because she called Sexy Red some form of a hoe, and then she want to smile on her face. So you're gonna get some
That's
hypocrisy,
where we
but
at.
I do think Charlemagne, I wouldn't say he owed her an apology, but it's just a good look because she was winning. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
I'm gonna tell you where I feel different with that. She
Mhm.
comes with this thing where she's like, my babies, and like she's this
Yep.
great wise auntie that everybody need to be following up
Yep.
the hill while she walks with a stick. And it's just
Hmm.
kind of like when they were having their conversation with each other, Leonard, no, Leonard. And it's almost like you're a mere mortal and I'm a super extraterrestrial. I just didn't get into how she was sunning him. That's what she was doing.
Well, don't. She was responding to her being donkey of the day, which I'll be honest, I'm not the craziest about donkey of the day because, one week they'll have somebody who sneezed on their teacher, and the next week they'll have like a child molester. I'm like, come on, man, you need different rewards here. I mean, different punishments here. You can't have the same. So I've never been a fan of like the
Okay.
actual idea of donkey of the day, but yeah, I would say that prestige that Monique brings that you're talking about,
Mm.
if you watch her special, it goes away immediately.
Oh man.
Is it she's not above any of us.
I'll tell you this. If they got a private investigator to do some forensic research, the whole time she was protesting Netflix, I bet
Hmm.
she was watching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
I
well, you
bet
heard
she
what
was.
Jay-Z said at the Oscar, which I thought was kind of foul, by the way, at the Grammys. He said Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff protested the Grammys, but then they watched from the hotel room. He's like, it's not that effective of a protest. So yeah, I mean, come on, we all guilty, and the companies know it. That's why they will go behind they will stand against somebody, and then a year later they'll jump right back in bed with that person, just like they did with Travis Scott. Travis Scott had the concert, smashed all the people died, back up with Nike, just like that. He got two shoes coming out this month. And watch. I'm gonna make a prediction right now. I'm gonna hold my breath
Yeezy.
because sometimes, yeah, but they had to exactly, yeah, Kanye. But
No,
I'm
he
about to
gonna
make
be
this
back with
prediction.
Nike.
You think he'll go back to Nike?
Oh yeah.
He can't. He can't. He can't. He can't. No,
Watch.
it's anti-Semitic, bro. That was pretty harsh.
Watch. I
Phil
said
Knight.
it. I'll let
Phil,
you make your prediction. My
yeah.
prediction, he gonna mess with Nike.
That'd be interesting. I mean, you a better businessman than me, so maybe you see something I don't know. I just said Phil Knight. Phil Knight was going hard, and Phil Knight don't talk about nothing. All them Asian kids he murdering, and he gonna sit here and talk about like yo, that's crazy. When Phil Knight spoke, I'm like, you gotta understand. I done seen Phil Knight. He held his tongue through every controversy. I was like, Kanye pissed him off. But no, oh, Diddy. I think I don't know the timeline, but I think Diddy is going to be back in business with some companies in the future.
I believe
I
it.
think I think he's going to be because they can't ignore the money, man. They can't ignore the influence. I think he properly ducked this. He's showing a master class on how to duck controversy. You know what I mean? He's giving a master class and he's going to be right back on it like it didn't happen because he paid the worst thing she could have done for women as a whole for victims, I should say, is accept the money. Worst thing she could have did. Worst thing she could have did. So yeah, we gonna be back up. Did he gonna be up? Probably. I don't want to put a timeline to it, but I say less than 5 years. Just like we got Trump back, and all them indictments. Diddy gonna be up.
I'll give you one better. I give it 4th of July. Diddy gonna
You
start
think
to
he'll
come
be
back
back
up.
by then? That's
Oh, he gonna
way too
start coming.
soon.
He no. He's gonna
Oh,
start
popping
coming
back out.
live.
Yeah.
He's gonna give a
Yeah.
toast for the 4th of July. Then when
Yeah.
Christmas comes around, he's gonna do something cool. And then it's just
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah. It's too much
gonna,
money, too many deals. He know too many secrets too. You know,
oh
he got
yeah.
other people dirt. And if he get taken down, he gonna take some people down with him. So that's what's gonna keep him afloat.
So
Masterclass.
my question for you.
Uh-huh.
With the DL and the Monique back and forth, did
Mhm.
DL go too far?
The second reply, yes. The second reply, I think he was going too hard. But only thing it said showed me that he was hurt. That's it. He was hurt. You know what I mean? Because the first reply was pretty classy. If you keep it jokes, I can't say nothing. But you start digging, and then you go digging on her dude. These you trying to because the joke with the kid it didn't land, but he kept trying to rub it in because he was hurt. You know, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever go on Club Shay Shay and air his people out, but I still say I have to point the finger at Monique on this one. Still DL cool. He just got to chill out.
I'll tell you what I've learned from all this. DL Hughley is really funny, man. I mean, he's really funny. I mean, he's really funny, man. I mean, I've been a
He's a
fan of
joke
him.
writer.
I've been a fan of him acting in movies and stuff like that. And then you had Homeboy. Your homeboy had came through the when we were over at store 2 for 2. Your homeboy came
Mm-hmm.
through that was part of his team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which man, I saw some stuff where he done blew up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But to see DL freestyling, I don't think he wrote those. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just banter. And I was like, damn, this dude is killing her, dude. He was like
Yeah.
the captain.
The Captain Crunch bar was hard.
Oh
That was
man.
hard. Well, he said Captain Crunch. He said only crunch you been doing is one with Captain in front of it. That was wild. That was wild. But yeah, like I said, the first reply, that was decent. If he would have kept it there, cool. Even the casualty of just like if somebody puts a whole production video and you just reply on your phone and you win, you kill, that's a win. When he went back to his radio show and had more to say, it's like, bro, you just still hurt. Just what I mean, just take the L on this one. I want to talk about real quick, if you don't mind. You mind if I switch?
All good.
Yeah, Meg the Stallion. Obviously she's beefing with Nicki Minaj, and she dropped the Hiss record, which it went number one, which was that was basically her official reply to Nicki, in a sense of like, Nicki spazzed and put out her diss track, which didn't do well. But when Hiss went number one, it looked like that looked pretty bad on Nicki. And it just looked like Megan's the new chick. But new reports just kind of her drop off. She went from number one on the Billboard charts to not being on the Billboard charts at all.
You know why?
I think I know why. What you gonna say?
What got
Yeah,
her on the Billboard charts?
right. So, because they said this has never happened ever. When people drop from number one, they slide down to number five. The next week, 20 something, then six. With this situation in particular, it's proof that she's cheating the charts. She's
Rock
cheating, huh?
Rock Nation dollars,
Rock Nation dollars, yeah.
favors for favors,
Yep.
got her the number one. They had to do it. They had to do it to keep
Mm-hmm.
her in the game. She's generating too much money. She's
Yeah.
generating too much money. They had to keep her in the game.
Yeah. And people was
But it
already
was not enough
going.
to sustain her in the game.
Well, she dropped the track that she's kind of spazzing on, but it's not super identifiable anyway. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, she did Hot Girl Summer. Everybody was saying Hot Girl Summer, and she did what was it, Savage? You couldn't run away from these songs. You mean to tell me Hiss is on a level of Savage? You're lying. You're lying. Nobody knows this song. No one knows this song. You know what I mean? Like when the song's number one, you can't run from it. You know what I'm saying? I like running away from songs. So she was just fraudulent. And it's fine because numbers and rubrics don't matter, but we'll see how this plays out. I think it was very interesting to when I like when the industry shows their hand, like they've been caught red-handed. So we'll see where that goes.
Honestly, I felt Nikki went hard on her, man. I felt Nikki went hard on her.
That should have been her second reply. The problem with Nikki, it's the same thing I said about uh Monique or whatever. If somebody throw a pebble and you go grab the rocket launcher, you just never liked them. You never liked them. You never liked them. I don't care how many pictures, I don't care how many hugs, kisses, whatever. You
It
never
all,
liked them.
yeah.
She said they don't be mad at me, they be mad at Megan's Law. That's a nice bar. That could be for everybody. What are you talking? What, Nikki? Nikki, you showed that you're a hater. And it's fine. But at the end of the day, you never liked this girl. So don't even act like y'all got beef. You just never liked her. That's different
So
from beef.
to segue to the next part, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was from the moment Kaepernick took a knee until last Sunday, I hadn't watched any of the Super Bowls.
Man,
I
you've been
cheated
faithful.
last year. I cheated last year because I watched the halftime show. Just the halftime show. It was Dr. Dre. I felt I was going to be missing something. And shame on me
Mm-hmm.
for my level of principles or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That was 2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago. I
Yeah.
didn't watch
Because
it last year. So I did it
yeah,
two
because
years
it was
ago. I didn't
you
watch
didn't
it
miss
last.
anything.
Who was last year?
Rihanna, you didn't miss anything. It
Oh
was
yeah,
bad.
yeah. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. But this year, Pops had a little something at his house with his homeboy. I went over there. His homeboy ended up leaving a little early, so I was like, okay. Halftime came on. I was like, okay. Before I knew it, I watched second halftime, third quarter. Um, your boy Kaepernick, man, he had
What
a
are you
great
doing?
call, huh?
What's he doing?
Well, he had a great cause. He drew a lot of awareness to the Super Bowl and everything. I wasn't watching the Super Bowl because I had felt Kaepernick's, his cause, his struggle, his whatever. Dude, I got caught up in the like, man, the knee, the whole George Floyd going down, just the whole nine. I'm not gonna watch no Super Bowls, man. They black folk. We not gonna leave it on black folks, but the way their heads is getting bashed in, football players going crazy, just them mistreating the players. Whoa. So Mr. Sean Carter makes the comment, yeah, we're way past that. We're way
And he way
past
past
it.
kneeling. Way
We're
past
yeah,
kneeling.
we way past it. When he said that, I didn't feel good at all. Didn't feel good at all. But they set it up so good that even my whatever morals or whatever I had, they hyped up Usher coming to the Super Bowl. And you're thinking, like, Usher at the Super Bowl, could he really do something that's going to be that interesting to just really captivate you and just have you in awe? Just like, because I'm thinking when Dr. Dre got his Super Bowl show, the trajectory of the socialization of the NFL, I just felt like, man, they're willing to do anything to pull us back in. You know what I'm
Yeah, of
saying?
course. Yeah, that's exactly what it's on.
They need to pull us back in. Rihanna was a good idea in concept, but I think with her, being pregnant and just all that, and not saying that stopped her from giving a great performance, But I just think Rihanna was a good candidate, which could have been a good performance. But dude, you had Michael Jackson, you
Mm-hmm.
had Prince,
Mm-hmm.
you had like Super Bowl performances that just were stellar. With Usher's performance, and I'm a Usher, like I like his music. I won't say I'm the biggest Usher fan. I hate to say it, but I feel Ludacris kind of
Yeah.
helped him pull it off, man. The
Ludacris didn't come to like the last second. What do you mean?
That's when he was pulling it off.
No, no, you tripping. No, 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 no. I mean, no, man, he had it from the top. He had it caught up, and then he did you got the whole roller skating thing.
The duet,
He had the stripper, the pose.
her.
Still come
I give it to him with her.
her. Dang, man, we
I
we was
get
watching two different shows, man. I liked it. I liked it, man. He had to burn. He said it's 7 o'clock. They said, what is Usher doing at this time? It's 7 o'clock. He did that. Um, yeah, man, I thought it was cool. It did, yeah, Luda only came in like 2 seconds in. Lil Jon.
well,
Uh,
you know what? You making me
uh,
feel good because the hatred of Kaepernick was still in my soul, and maybe that's what was holding me back from embracing the.
yeah, man. But hey, man, look, like Jay-Z said, we way past kneeling. And whenever I see this little trick that Jay-Z pulled on all of us that we just fall for because he's the president of black people. Um, I just see a scared black man surrounded by white people.
Oh, man.
I see a scared rich man, wealthy man who's a shepherd
That don't
to
want to lose none of that. He is not going to do anything to make him miss any of that.
mind you, they didn't air the rap Grammy or any of Killer Mike's Grammys, but they aired the Dr. Dre Jay-Z Award, which is his own award. It don't mean nothing, but hey, you've been around here a long time and you black. That's the only thing the award means.
I'll give you one better. The award meant we got to come up with something to make Jay-Z be a part of this, to put some eyeballs on what we got going on, to kind of try to get this viewership. Dude, with
Yes.
YouTube, with Netflix, with all these things that are separate from cable TV that we just have to buy into the whole of it, the rabbit has the gun right now, man.
I hear that. I hear that.
The rabbit truly has the
Yeah.
gun.
I like the saying. Well, what Rabbit had Swiss Beats gun is the Usher. You know what? When Usher grabbed Alicia Keys from the waist and pulled her in tight, um, I actually did understand the entertainment quality of it, but I didn't think he was gonna go that far because he did the first two. He did the like fake like ass taps. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was gonna keep it there. I didn't know he was gonna do the full. Not
I
gonna lie.
felt uncomfortable for Swiss, dude. I felt uncomfortable. I'm like, man, his woman. You know the funny part about it? So I don't know if you knew about it or not, but there was this award ceremony that had Sean Paul there, and Jay Z was like, nah, they Jay Z wasn't having it. Like he was not gonna
Yeah.
let
Oh yeah.
Beyonce,
Yeah. Yeah.
he was not gonna let Beyonce perform with Sean Paul, to the point of where they said they weren't gonna do the song, and then they just did the song and did it without him. I want to say something to the tone of that.
Mm-hmm.
When Usher was standing behind Swiss Beats' wife, I was like, damn, this dude is like, he
He's a
going
menace.
far with it. And oh man, shame on me. And she, in a professional spirit, she didn't she went with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She went with it,
Well,
man.
is that what happened? Because this is
Yeah.
what I want to know. Was that part of the plan? You know, because even her going with it, there's levels of going with it. She went with it like she wanted it back then. You know what I'm saying? Like this was like a long time. Like, it was almost like because they say women do the choosing. It's almost like she was hoping it happened. You know what I mean? But she like, nah, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. Oh, he's doing it. Oh my Usher.
One,
You know.
once again, man, it's the 2024 year of the dragon. Me
Mm.
knowing nothing about the Chinese Lunar New Year and all that stuff,
Hmm.
I'm gonna call it the year of the rabbit because the rabbit got the gun.
Yeah.
The rabbit got the gun.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Oh.
but Swiss Beats replied and said, I just see two legends. You know, y'all talking about the wrong thing. Look at her dress. I mean, that's a classy reply. I have to respect it. I don't even know. I don't know what to think, honestly. I have no idea what to think.
What about this note?
Huh?
What about this note?
The note, oh, did she hit?
Yes.
Oh, man, look. Um, so there has been rumblings about Alicia Keys being called Alicia Off Key for a long time. I actually didn't support that. I always thought she was a decent singer, but there's damning evidence all across the internet of her because everybody's due for a mistake, but supposedly this happens a lot. And
Oh
then she had the
man.
Super Bowl moment. It was the first note that came out of her mouth. If she would have sung and then hit an off note, I would have rocked with it. The fact that was the first note that came out of her mouth on her song, that's not good look. Not good look.
I saw some footage of her doing a tribute for Prince.
Yeah.
Oh, he was not impressed, man.
Oh, Prince is yeah, he's very critical. But
Yeah.
look, I will say this too. As a fellow pianist, it is hard to play the keys and sing at the same time. Some people make it look really easy. She used to be one of them, but she's currently not. It's poor thing.
With the limitations of tonight's show, man, I'm gonna go straight into it, man.
Okay.
The phenom of the offensive joke. You being a comedian. Now
Oh,
tell
and
me
shy.
before we dig deep, tell me
Okay.
this.
Okay.
How many times have you told a joke that you thought about after the fact and was like, ooh, maybe I did go a little too far?
I would say a few times, but I would say for me, and the type of joke writer that I am, I like I like it to where there's a statement they say getting away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like my jokes are like getting away with. Like I want you to laugh first and then realize what you laughed at. You know what I'm saying? Because or I want you to say it. I shouldn't have to say it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes like I'll paint a scenario and I'll get you to agree with that scenario, right? So people either clap or they laugh, and I go, well, that's just like this thing that you don't like. So they'll see that and they go, um, if I tell the joke and it's directly received offensive or insulting immediately, then I go, I didn't do it well enough. And I know, I remember the night Robin Williams passed away. I had a joke about that. Oh, it was a beautiful joke. It worked really well. It was amazing. Um, and then my Kobe joke. I had a Kobe joke that hit really well. I'm good at this. The joke that we are technically referencing without referencing, I don't think it was an A plus 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 joke. But well, it wasn't a good joke. I just say that. It wasn't a good joke. But the principles are still there. But the joke, I gotta say, it was not a well-written joke at all.
Kanye West in his Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. This dude's intelligent.
Man, man, oh man. Once again,
Yeah.
the year of the rabbit, when
Yeah.
the rabbit has the gun.
Yeah.
Um, I think he's a genius. I won't say him. I'll say his team is a genius because he has a team. He has to have a team. I don't believe that it's all him. I
We have to. This man is a walking, spewing, verbal garbage can. He tells you he does not have. I mean, he says it out of his mouth. So I mean, I hear you because you know good business, but this dude literally talks about what he has and how he has to do it alone. So I don't know. I can't even. He's an anomaly.
He has a team. He just doesn't have what he used to.
Okay.
That's what I feel. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I feel he has a team because if he, I don't care how much money you got coming in. If you don't have an infrastructure and you're the dude that's gonna do what he did on the Breakfast Club,
Hmm.
it's a wrap, dude. It's a wrap,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
He'd be homeless. He'd be homeless in a tent somewhere, man.
Well, he said, did you see the interview he did today?
Uh,
So TMZ, they caught up with him and he actually talked to him. And he said that he bragged about being number one, his album's number one, and he sold close to 200,000 shoes from that one ad, which yeah, pretty much equals out to $19 million. He spent $7 million on that ad, which he shot from his phone like this, and he earned $19 million. That's incredible. He didn't even finish advertising. He just said, that's it. Um, yeah, that's impressive. Like legit, he said that he was 2 months away from being completely bankrupt. He's gonna have to file for bankruptcy. And he said these people tried to kill him off and they couldn't. You know, he's up. That's
yeah,
crazy. I mean, because I tell you, I'm just really a fan of just marketing and advertising these days. One, because they're like trying to brainwash us, but two, you had these big PR agencies, these big marketing agencies, people paying millions and million dollars when you have, children, literal children competing with them. You know, like if you can make a splash on the internet, he's not. It's because trust me, if anybody can do it, everybody be doing it, but everybody's not doing it. Only select few, and how they do it is so unique every time. So the fact that Kanye keeps doing it, I think that's impressive. I don't understand how.
I just say you still got to know somebody. I say you still got
Definitely.
to know somebody. It's just not. You're just not gonna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's some true and some truth, but his influence it still says how powerful his influence is
Mm-hmm.
that even with going against the almighty uh people, the fact that he's able to sustain is impressive.
Nike. Remember, I said that.
I have to take your word on that. That'd be crazy. But I will say, I think the world's I could be wrong about this. I think the world's most valuable shoe to this day is his Yeezy, his Air Yeezy 2 that was with Nike. The Red October Yeezy. So that would be interesting if he went back to Nike after this.
Yeah,
You know.
we'll see. Well, with that being said, man, this has been another episode of Splendid.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go. We right now. So once
uh,
again for the third. So now, man, it's been another episode. Splendid. This is the wild card. We're gonna have to get him in once a month, man. Let the current events pile up. I'll say I'm on the fence with Monique, man. Her son just really doesn't help her case, man.
oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, her son doesn't help her case. DL, he's hurt. He's hurt. They need to hug it out.
You said what?
I said they need to hug it out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they need
definitely.
they need to hug it out and make some money. You know.
Yeah, I think he's gonna need to go on Club Shay Shay or something. That's what it's gonna take. He got to tell his piece.
Yeah, yeah, very interesting. Well, no, man. Until next week.